Hello, SolarLune here, and here is another Gearend development log video for Gearend. I just said that. Well, whatever. Hi, it's been a while since my last Gearend Devlog video, and so I wanted to kind of show a little bit more of the process of the game, how it's going. So I got a tile screen up and running. It's not really finished. It's simple, which is nice, works fine. That logo is, at the very least, kind of jaggy. I'm going to clean it up. If I end up going with it, I'm not sure yet, but I like how it looks. I kind of like how simple it is too. Oops. Oops. Well, so yeah, I like how simple it is. I have an options menu where you can trigger some things, turn some things on or off. You can kind of turn up or down the volume. None of the stuff is hooked up or working except for sound and full screen. Actually, I guess I can just turn full screen mode on. There we go. Yeah, so you can click new game. It takes you into the new game. For just debug purposes, that's where Epsilon was spawning, just in the middle of nowhere, falling. Yeah, okay. So the game is a Metroid-like, in case you didn't know quite what Gearend is all about. You take control of this robot called Epsilon. Epsilon, as he explores and fights and kind of helps this robotics research facility that's kind of abandoned. One of the things that I've been working on, or that I added, was the ability for this body part to shrug damage on his third hit. So it basically adds some more health, essentially. So you can see it turning blue right there. Previously, it did shrug damage, but it didn't turn blue. So I thought, wait, why not have it do something so you can tell it, you know, it was like a parry in a sense, like, oh, it didn't hit. And so I added that little visual indication. Most of the stuff I've been working on have been like in the other zone, the desert zone, so that's where I'm heading to show how it's working over there right now. If it seems chuggy, that's because it is. Oh man, I missed it. If it seems chuggy, that's because it is. Yeah, it's just one of those things. I have to optimize it a little bit more to get it running smoothly. So you go through doors and you get a transition, nice smooth transition into another zone. So it works. Not perfectly, but it works pretty well. These guys are sign robots that you can talk to, and they'll kind of tell you a little bit about the game world or ask you things or, you know, whatever. This used to be that cardboard cutout, but I decided to make it a sign because that's what it was in the previous game I made, which is Cairo. There was a sign that kind of told the player things. But so I thought that it was kind of interesting, and I'd keep the same concept of a sign. So you talk to it, and it says, "Hey there, welcome to the communications and weapon testing zone." And basically, things are going rogue, but yeah, that's kind of not really our fault. Could you help us out, kind of a thing. Something that you might notice if you're observant, it doesn't zoom in anymore. I just didn't think it was that necessary. It was kind of throwing off the boundaries of the screen. It was kind of making it so that you could kind of see past stuff, and I didn't want that to happen. Oh, perfect. So I added little pickups like hearts and batteries that replenish your health and energy. I actually added that in the past Gearend Devlog video. I just didn't show them, I think. Yeah, so this is, as you probably can see, considerably harder than the previous. I have to make those spawn in front of these guys. Considerably harder than the previous zone, which is pretty logical. That cloud of enemies, those little flying enemies, are called spinners. They just fly toward you. They're not really, they don't pack a lot of damage. They don't have much health. They only hit twice, but they do a lot of, like they really follow you around, and they're really annoying. So it's just kind of like a good idea to get them out of the way. Especially when paired with spikes, they're going to be really dangerous. So that's a pretty good synergy, I think. I have to fix that. That acid not really hitting the ground correctly. Oh yeah, so this is one of the first places you'll find those spinners, or I'm sorry, grinders up there. So I decided to have a sign kind of let you know, yeah, you probably don't want to touch them. It's not good to touch them. Don't touch them. This is Quicksand, and as you head down into it, as you can see by that top woman, you get eaten up by the quicksand. So you have to be really really careful rather, as they really kind of pull you in, or it really pulls you in. So that's no good. You don't want that. Okay. It probably needs to stop your movement a little bit more, so you really don't want to get caught with this. I have some ideas with this, particularly for like, like let's say those spinners that were around flying, like you wouldn't want to be around those while you're near this, because it's like you're already having a hard enough time kind of getting around this quicksand, jumping around, and then the spinners are like basically hunting you down. Yeah, so that's pretty good. I still have to implement the enemy respawn rate, because it's like they respawn as soon as you leave the room, essentially. They'll spawn again when you come back. This is an interesting little area. I thought that it would be a good idea to have you walk around something that shows a point of interest. So you kind of like, oh, well, how do I get to that shield? Is one of these blocks maybe non-solid, or do I have to press a switch, or do I have to talk to someone, or do I have to beat a boss? Like, you have to figure it out, and you'll come back later and eventually get it. But it's like, it's a little interesting thing to kind of make you tell you, yeah, you need to explore. You can't just expect to just see something and immediately go and get it. You'll actually have to figure out how to properly get around this and get to this point of interest. Yeah, so this is a tower of sorts you're going to climb. Not quite a tower, it's a little more it doesn't go on for that long, but it's an interesting little area where you're kind of avoiding these grinders and these set cams too. You can go to the right or you can go to the left. Okay, well, yeah, you can go to the right or you can go to the left, and so you're gonna end up going to the left for this little example. I'm just gonna show what I have over there, but this is an instance where you're gonna wanna have the other leg parts, which is the just the basic epsilon part. You'll probably want to use both, the boost legs as well as the normal legs, because the normal legs actually move a little bit faster when compared to these legs. So that it's a little difficult to like get around. If you boost, it's obviously possible, but with the epsilon legs, you move a little bit faster, and that actually makes it a lot easier to get around to jump on these disappearing platforms. I'm going to re-implement camera zooming for specific like special things like the item capsules or these upgrade chips. And as you can see, my my energy has gone up, and now it's a lot harder for me to run out of energy, which is nice. So yeah, that's obviously you're aware of upgrade chips. That's old, but it's still nice to just kind of see them in the game and working, and in a pretty interesting place like that. I'm probably gonna put one there. And it's not really hard to figure out exactly how you need to get up there, but it's kind of like oh wait, I wonder if you can like actually break this real quick. Let me see. Yeah, you might be able to like dash up there. You gotta do it like perfectly, but I feel like it's possible. Let me see. Nah, maybe it's not. I kind of want to see if it's. You have to time it just right. Well, I guess I don't need to. Okay. Okay, it is possible. That is hard. All right, I'm gonna probably fix that so you can't get up there so easily with these, or maybe I'll leave it in so that you can actually have a bit of a challenge. Where if you're having trouble getting it normally, I mean, you need to cross this to get on with the level anyway. But if you like are having trouble getting through normally, you can actually use the boost legs to get the power up that way. Something else that you probably have seen, you probably noticed right there. And when I fell down from that area above, I fell into this quicksand. So something I like is that feeling of like this is an actual entire connected world where like you can fall from areas into other areas and fall from points onto other points. And so to kind of encourage that, there won't be any bottomless pits where it's like it's just a bottomless pit and you'll die if you fall down. If it's something that you can't see, you can fall down and it'll be something down there. Maybe it'll be spikes. I don't think I would do that just because you have no way of knowing what's down there. It'd be kind of rude to put spikes at the bottom of a pit where you can't see the bottom. But that's something to kind of get you interested in traversing the game world, because it's like, oh well, I don't know where this goes. Let me go ahead and see, because it's not a bottomless pit. If it's something that could kill you, it's going to be spikes. It's going to be lava. It's going to be something else. Okay, so that's more or less the content and the stuff that. Oh yeah, I didn't mention this. The background only has that heat wave shader. It used to be on both the foreground and the background, but now it's just on the background because it was just annoying to see on the foreground. All right, well, that's basically it. Thank you very much for watching. I've been SolarLune, and hopefully the next one will be interesting, and the game will be even further along, and you'll be even more excited to play it. All right, well, yeah, so hopefully I'll also kind of cut down on like showing the game world, like how much I've done. There's still some things I haven't shown, but hopefully I'm going to show cut down on that kind of stuff as I finish the game world in its entirety, and work more so on just showing like the concepts or the different things I implemented, as opposed to like, oh, check out this new thing. Although there is something new that I did implement that I haven't shown, so you'll see that at some point when you probably play the game. All right, well, thank you very much for watching. I've been SolarLune, and oh, well, before I finish this off, you probably noticed that this zone is actually kind of long in terms of screen sizes. Like I remember, I think when I started this game, when I was planning it out, I said maybe around like 12 screens is gonna be like the barrier of like, yeah, that's a good size per zone. But 12 screens is really small, like especially if I need to make those disappear when you when you leave the room. But 12 screens is actually rather small, especially when you consider like 12 screens, including screens like this that scroll. So it's like, this is, let's say, 2 or 3 screens wide. That's 2 or 3 screens out of my budget. So like I'm already like breaking the 12 screens law with this zone, and I think I've broken it for the first zone too, even though that one is pretty much nothing to it. So I'm gonna hopefully have, you know, more content than just 12 zones, 12 screens per zone. It's gonna be probably larger, maybe around 30 screens per zone. So we'll see. I'll see how it kind of feels as of currently, and adjust my idea of how long the game is going to be based on that. So we'll see. All right, well, thank you very much for watching. I've been SolarLune, and this has been a Gearend Devlog video. Thanks. See ya.